Hey, my name's James Nicholson. I hope you guys are well. It's freezing cold now, isn't it? It's absolutely freezing today. But in today's video, more importantly, I want to talk about a video that was very popular over the weekend where we did a video on Labour's plan to abolish leaseholds potentially in the first 100 days if they win the general election. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, what I feel potentially might happen. Is it possible? Is it legal? There's a lot of thoughts and comments on that. 162 comments on that video. So really interested to see your thoughts. So do comment below what you think. And this weekend's been bonkers on the videos. We did 100,000 views just this weekend, which was crazy. By far, like triple the biggest weekend we've ever had. So if you haven't done already, make sure you do subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification and smash that like button, tickle the like button, do something with the like button because that really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. We wanted to hit 200,000 views this month. We're probably going to smash that. We might even hit 300,000, which is crazy. So thank you to everyone that's smashed the like button, tickled it or done something with it over the last few days. So, Labour. Look, there's a general election coming up. It's not too far away now. It has to be done pretty much in 2024. And Labour are wanting to do everything to make sure that they win that. Now, they've got quite a big lead in the polls, but things change, right? Things change. So we've done some videos on this channel about the Leasehold Reform Act. And part of that was when ground rent was abolished. And so the Conservatives already put that through. That already exists. And so if you renew your lease at any point now, the ground rent will be taken off of that, which is quite good. Now, I've got properties and most of the ground rents are quite small on those. But some people have really high ground rents or ground rents that go up significantly and start off very small, but they didn't quite understand how big that ground rent could get. And some freeholders absolutely take liberties. And this is the problem. This is why this is being discussed right now, because there are some freeholders that they get a property and they buy the freehold and then they force lots of work to be done on there and they get their mates to do jobs. The first property I've ever bought, if you've watched this channel, I bought it in 1999. In 2003, I was backpacking. I went backpacking around Asia for 1 year, which was incredible. And what happened while I was away, around April of that year, I got, I think it was a Hotmail back then, a message basically saying, look, you need to pay £7,000, I think it was, in 7 days for a new roof. And it was an absolute scam. The freeholders got the roof, rather than fixing the roof, they redid the whole roof, which cost tens and tens of thousands of pounds between all of the flats. There was no meeting about this. It was just, this is a compulsory work order. It really wasn't good. Now, I fought that and I took quite a while to pay them. I said, well, you can take me to court. I'm actually out the country at the moment. And I just offered them a payment plan. I paid it off over like 4 years or something like that. But it wasn't great. And what was even worse was I actually knew one of the roofers. One of my friends was a labourer on there. And he said that we got charged for new lead for the whole roof. And he said that none of the lead was actually changed. It was just taken off and brushed down and then put back on. However, he wasn't willing to say that in a court or anything because that would be going against his boss and he would lose his job. All sorts of problems, right? So it was a complete nightmare. And this stuff happens all the time. And freeholders have been absolutely taking the mick for years and years and years, which is why the government is trying to step in. The house that I actually live in with my partner, it's her property that she already had before we got together. It's a house, but it's a freehold house, a leasehold house, and she actually has to pay 1% of the sale price if she sells that. So if she sells the property for 500 grand, she's got a bill for 5 grand. I asked her if she knew that. She didn't even know that was a thing. A lot of people have got into these deals and they just aren't aware with what is going on. So, Leasehold Reform Act came in, ground rent got abolished, and government said at the King's Speech, which is next month, we would look at getting rid of marriage value. Now, it's gone very quiet on that front. No conversations are happening. So Labour's stepped in and said, well, look, we're going to do leasehold reform better than you guys, and we're actually going to follow through. So they said that if they get into power within 100 days, they would look to abolish leaseholds. Now, here's some problems with that. I mean, a leasehold, a freehold even, could be worth millions of pounds. You can't just take that from someone and give it to somebody else. So Labour needs some sort of plan here. Now, what I think is going to happen is that I think that new build properties, the leasehold will be abolished on that, and you'll get your percentage of the freehold. I think that's what will happen on new build properties. I think on existing leasehold properties, now you do have some rights. You can buy the freehold if you club together with other people. You can buy the freehold. I think that you'll get the option to buy your bit of that and making your property a freehold property. I think that could be one great way to get round this, because I can't see the government seizing freeholds off landlords. I just don't see that working at all. I don't think legally that will stand up. I think there'll be so many legal challenges. And what I also think is going to happen is marriage value will probably, if Labour get in power, be abolished or reduced significantly. Some of you in the comments have said you feel it might go down rather than 50% to 10%. So what is marriage value? Well, if your lease drops below 80 years, I think it is, then your property will drop in value, right? The value of the property will go down significantly. So you might have £100,000 property, but if the lease goes short, it might only be worth £70,000. So that means with a longer lease, the property would be worth £30,000 more. Now, if you then extend the lease, the cost of that is the gain. So the gain on that property is £30,000 with a long lease. The landlord will charge you half of what the gain would be with a longer lease. So in that scenario, just that scenario, they would charge £15,000 in order to extend your lease. Now, this is happening all over the country. Imagine if you own a flat in Chelsea and your lease goes short. The cost to extend the lease there could be many hundreds of thousands of pounds. And no other country really has this leasehold issue. They don't run it like this. And so we are one of the only countries that has this problem. And that's what we need to look to get resolved fairly soon. So in short, I think that they will abolish leaseholds on new build properties. I think that's quite easy to implement straight away. So they could tick off their promise and say that that was done. I think that you'll get the option to buy your percentage of the freehold at probably some sort of reduced rate. And I think that marriage value will go to almost zero or significantly less than what it is now, which is just one of the bigger problems. I also think that they'll look at doing some more stuff with how you manage the property. I think you'll get more options on picking companies and management companies and stuff like that. So it's an interesting time. Let me know, what do you think though is going to happen? Do comment below with your observations or comments. Do smash the like button. Do subscribe and hit the bell. And go and check out some more videos on my channel, including this video right here.